Tip. Routines, right? Routines.
Routines. They can help, but they can hinder.
All right, I'll give you context. So you just came on to your Smai-Tawi yoga initiation, or any other initiation, but hopefully this one. What does that routine look like for you? On why is a routine necessary? I'll let Emily answer why it's necessary for her.
For me, well, there's a necessity already because I know on the days that it is going, so that gives some kind of shape to my week. And
what do you mean?
Oh, well, it's predictable. A routine is predictable, right? So by that, then I know how to focus my attention throughout.
Well, what is a routine?
Week.
I don't even know what we're talking about. What is a routine?
Well, a routine is a set habit.
So you were talking about something's predictable. What are we talking about? What is predictable? What do you know is predictable? You haven't told me anything yet. So what are we talking about?
The regularity of
what? Of what? You went through the initiation of what exactly are we talking about? The predictable things.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'll tell you from here. So what are you talking about? We're talking about yourself. You doing your yoga practice. You're doing your self-evaluation. You having your green juice. You having your sunlight. What is predictable? These are the activities that you should be doing on a day-to-day. So it's about what? Getting yourself in line. We know that all these different type of things, doing it on a regular, is going to be what? Promoting more health, wellness, longevity. You know what I mean? A whole energetic shift. So what does that look like? So you know that you need to do yoga on a regular. What is the time that you could do yoga? First of all, I would say that first thing in the morning is the best time to do whatever, especially if you know that you could start earlier. Yes, you could start earlier. You could wake up 30 minutes earlier or an hour earlier. You could start as simple as 30 minutes. So that means going to bed 30 minutes earlier. And if you know that you have children, you have different things that the children are going to get up at a set time, and you're going to have to do your motherly or fatherly responsibilities at that time, and it's going to take away from what you need to do for your day-to-day disciplines and requirements, then get yourself up earlier so you could be in that nice space. You could have that silence to just do whatever it is that you need to do. Even if you only have, say the whole sequence is an hour and 15 minutes, but you only have 30 minutes of that silence. What is going to be most important for you to do in that 30 minutes of silence that you have? Is it your meditation? Is it your journaling? Is it your self-reflections? Is it your reading of the 42 laws of Ma'at and meditating on those principles?
Okay, so you're talking about like setting yourself, taking responsibility to set your own activities around your own time.
I want to talk about the exact activities that they should be doing. So right now, like when we were talking earlier, it's like I could be talking about anything. When I talk about predictable and such, I could be talking about anything. But I want to talk about exactly what you're doing or what you should be doing. I want this video to be useful for you. Do you know what I mean? Give you other ideas of how to lay out your day to day. You know what I mean? So you don't you're gonna have obstacles, but it's how you maneuver through those obstacles. If your day-to-day requirements take you 2 hours to go through, but you're not able to give yourself 2 hours in your rising, then it's okay to split it apart. That's why I said if you only have 30 minutes in the front of your daytime before your day starts to really come alive, do what you feel is most essential for those 30 minutes. If it's meditation, getting yourself in the right mind state to start your day, go ahead and do that. Reflect on the 42 laws of Ma'at. And then if you could say that, okay, you know what? But later on in the day, I'll have another time when this child is sleeping or I have a break or whatever the case, I have another hour. Go ahead and throw that hour in and do your sequence, And then later on, you can have another time, that you do your reading. Oh, boom, I have 15 minutes here. It could look like that.
I was doing actually to make it manageable.
But this is what I'm saying. Make it real.
Yeah.
you went through it. Talk to them exactly what you did. Like, hey, this is when I did my yoga. Hey, this is when I did this. So it makes sense for them.
I had to change my habits. I had to make sure that I prioritize. That was like the main thing on my heavens last year. So to be able to accommodate my busy life, my children, like the things that I like doing whenever I had the time, it meant I had to significantly sleep less, a lot less. I had to put my alarm clock at 4:30 in the morning sometimes because it was important for me to do my meditation and my daily practice in the morning before my day really started. So I gave myself that. It came with challenges, obviously, but I gained so much out of it just by like committing to it and deciding that I'm the one who's going through it, so I'm the one who decides. And so that's how I was doing. And then on my commute,
you set your alarm earlier,
like way earlier than my regular. Like,
did you start going to bed earlier, or
sometimes sometimes I couldn't because my days were that busy, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so it can play against me. But that's how I chose to do it last year. And so I would typically use my time as well of commuting to work to do my reading. So any reading. Whether it was some homework, whether it was the voice of knowledge, or whether there was no reading really, but I was making sure that I was reading the manual in and out and in and out and in and out, or that I was listening to my own recordings of my very first teaching sessions, my practice for that. So I was making sure that basically what I'm trying to say is that I was making every available moment work for me, so that I could, I guess, increase my submerging into the subject.
What about days that you just didn't feel like doing it? Did you have those days?
Oh yeah, I had no choice. I did it anyway.
Okay, so whatever, you wake up, something happened, you and your daughter get into it, you all are at war with each other, and you don't feel like doing nothing else that you were set to do. How do you get back on track?
Well, the way my mind works is actually when that happens, I tend to like be even harder on me. So it's like, oh, that happened, that's how I feel. Well, I'm gonna do more. So I don't know whether it's, it might not be an approach for everyone, but for me, it's how I deal with it. So I guess when I didn't feel like it, I would just do it anyway. And then if I wasn't satisfied with the outcome, I would just do it even more or harder in the sense that I would like do a repetition of something that I actually don't really like doing, or I would make myself repeat a session like a teaching session by myself, but like voicing out everything that I was doing even more, because I guess that's what I didn't like doing. So somehow I felt like that's what I needed to work more, and having those days of not feeling like it wasn't an excuse. So it was just like somehow making my journey more challenging, but it's part of the journey. So because I had committed to that journey, I decided that when I have those days, I just do it anyway.
Like beloved Isis Rain always says, it's your why. It's all about your why. You're here for a reason. You're not here because I forced you to be here, or I dragged you out of your bed to come and be here. You're here because you know that you need to be here for whatever reason it is. So it's on those days you always go back to your why. No one's coming on a course to spend to invest a whole bunch of money, because they don't want to be here. Do you know what I mean? The investment is the commitment that you're making for yourself, and then you're putting yourself in alignment with a guide who you feel is going to help you achieve these things as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's your why. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Okay. Every time I go back to my why, okay, that's right. Get your ass up. Okay. What is stopping you from doing these particular things? What have just upset you? Is that thing that upset you, is that going to help you? Is that going to help towards your healing? No, you're upset about it. So it's going to take you in the opposite way. Cool. So that's throwing me off my course. No, I need to get back on course. All right. Let me get back to the reading. Let me get back to my meditation. Let me get back on point. This is a distraction. I can't let this distraction happen again, because I'm already making moves and I'm already thinking about how long am I doing this for? Remember, this is not something that we're just doing forever. This is it's for a set time, 84 days. A lot of times people need to know that, okay, I'm not doing this forever. This is the set time that I'm doing this for. And you feel good about checking off each of those days on your calendar. So I'm on day 1, I'm on day 2. Before you know it, you're on day 17, day 34. You're in the full swing and you're a complete different person. You know what I mean?
And then you're halfway, and then you're like,
halfway.
oh wow, I'm already halfway. Like,
and you're like, damn.
Wow, that's not far now. Damn, like, do I have enough time? Like, you know, so you go through different journeys of sometimes it feels, oh, I'm only a quarter of the way, like, it's long. But then all of a sudden, time plays in its own funny ways. And sometimes all of a sudden, you're nearly done. And then you're done, you know. So however you're feeling, I think it's like it's momentary. It's just like for a while, and it doesn't have to take over the intention that you had in the first place. So I can really see how a routine can be just like thrown off, or how even people around you might say like, oh, don't you think it's a bit too much? Why do you feel the need to wake up so early in the morning? Like, how is it compatible with like everything that you're already doing? Well, only I knew.
Listen, though, it's meant for you because it's meant for you. Those other people that aren't going through it don't have any idea what's actually happening to you. Do you know what I mean? You know how particular things make you feel. You know how you feel when you have a green juice, when you hold a meditation, when you finish doing your yoga. You know what I mean? When you're just joyful and you have like no resentment towards anyone or anything within your day. You know how you feel. You know. Do you know what I mean? When everything is just in alignment. And even if certain things are throwing you off and you still have certain obstacles, you know when energetically you're on that high.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know when you're on your lows. I know that. So I'm on a particular course. I'm on initiation. I'm on whatever the case to create more of these moments, more of these high moments. You know what I mean? Reprogram myself because I know how it feels like to feel like shit. No one likes that. You know what I mean? No one wants to be there. So let's be real. It's those days when we don't want to do particular things that we know helps us to better ourselves that we need to really push through.
And that's when a routine really becomes helpful, because you don't have to think too hard about like what you need to do, how you need to organize your day. Because if you have like a sort of like, you know, doesn't have to be rigid, but like a sort of thing that you can come back to, like a layout of your day that you can come back to. I'm not saying that you like coming into automatic is the way, but there's an element of, okay, I know what I need to do. And so even if I'm feeling this way today, I'm just going to do this and get it out of the way, you know, and at least you've achieved something, you've done something, and you stuck to your commitment.
And let me say this as well. You made a commitment to honoring yourself, to moving in ma'at, moving in the spirit of ma'at, moving in a set, right? So if your commitment is too heavy, you can back off. Do you know what I mean? You can back off. It doesn't mean that you're a failure and this, you gave up just because you backed off a little bit. If my normal commitments are to achieve these 15 to 20 things every day, but this particular day, I'm only in a space to just complete 5 of them for whatever reason. Energetically, I'm not feeling whatever the case. And it's going to create more stress in me to achieve those commitments that I set for myself, then don't do it. Then honor where you are that current day and just be like, okay, this is what it looks like today, you know, because this is how I feel. I just need to take things slower and take a little bit more time to myself. Tomorrow, I'm gonna see how I feel. I'm gonna try to step it up little by little again. You know what I mean? Don't try to kill yourself. Don't try to kill yourself to heal. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? We're healing, you know? Yeah. I think we good. That's it for today. All right. So, quick promo. You like these tops? Yeah, I know. Holla at me. Let me know. You know, we got the shirts. The shirts for 30 pounds. Tops for 24, 23. But yeah, let me know. Worldwide. Peace.